Ladies and gentlemen,
The most transformative sport event on earth is about to begin.
Those who are in the stadium are on their feet.
It's just a long, niggly climb.
Because it is desperation now. And there it is.
Gold! What a result! Another remarkable athlete about to write another chapter in Paralympic history.
Quiet, please. Hey.
Bonjour and welcome to Day 5 of the Paris 2024 Paralympics on Keep the Flame Alive, the podcast for fans of the Olympics and Paralympics. I'm your host, Jill Jarris, coming to you from the Hotel du Podcast. Joined as always by my lovely co-host, Alison Brown. Alison, bonjour, ça va?
I'm not doing the show.
You know, I got back to the room first, and I have had a great day. And you came back in, and you've had a very bad day. Very bad evening.
I'm not doing the show.
Doing the show. You're contractually obliged to do the show.
I'm going to just whine and process. I'll start making that noise again.
Well, we didn't get any complaints about it that I saw.
People haven't listened yet. They're a few days behind.
So you got a few days to do it before people are like, what is up with that noise?
And if anything is going to make me make that noise, it was my evening.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We'll get to that actually at the end.
Yeah, exactly. We have a little follow-up file because I was looking at some information from the International Paralympic Committee daily press briefings, and Craig Spence, who has been on the show before, he's the Chief Brand and Communications Officer for the IPC. He's got the best quotes all the time. I love him.
He is a great human being.
Yes,
Let's just put it that way.
Exactly.
And he says what he means and he means what he says. So you do get some great quips from Craig Spence.
The refugee Paralympic team got a second medal here at the Games. And Craig said it's the third Games we've had refugee team. And like buses, we wait for a medal to come along and we get two at once, which is fantastic. And if you've lived in a city that has public transportation, you know exactly what he means with the
And
buses.
also, I know when we spoke to him, he talked about the refugee team. And I think along with it being part of his job, I think there's a real personal devotion to that cause to make that refugee team happen and get the support that they need. So I think there was a lot of joy behind that. Oh, yeah, we get two medals.
Exactly. They did talk about ticket sales, which are climbing here in Paris. It's always a question of how well ticket sales do for the Paralympics, because the Olympics always do very well. Paralympics, of course, not as well known. People don't know the sport. Will they watch and come out and see it, even when ticket prices are way, way low? But that helps, I will say. He did say Paris is sold 2.3 million tickets, which is more than they have. So people are starting to get into the sports and see it. London 2012, which is the best ever Paralympics, they sold 2.7. And he goes, I don't think we're going to get there, but it's a good start. A good change for Paris to get in France to get involved in the Paralympic movement.
After London, there was a loss of momentum for the Paralympic movement because they went to Rio and Rio struggled financially, especially when it came to the Paralympics. If you watch Rising Phoenix,
One of the
I apologize.
When
you watch the movie focused on the Paralympics, they talk about that the Rio Paralympics almost didn't happen because of a financial crisis. So, and then of course you had COVID and 3 games in Asia and all those things they keep talking about. So to bounce back to this level on a European Games is a huge success.
Right. And France is doing very well, I think, in terms of medals and performances. And that helps bring in the crowds. And they get, just because they get so excited about any French athlete, which is phenomenal. And then the crowd brings the momentum. There's been some great crowds today. And today is back to school day for the kids. So even though they're not there and my day session was a little emptier, but people are there and the night sessions look a lot fuller. So it's going to be good. It really is. I'm looking forward to seeing what the last weekend is like in terms of tickets. We had today, I will tell you my schedule.
Just stop right there.
What?
You didn't do the setup.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's begin the baguette.
I count on these markers from you. Because I'm really going to struggle today.
You are, and I'm sorry I can't. I've got to be more solid.
So on the back to school note, I went to blind football today. School groups everywhere, mostly middle school it looked like. But then when I was walking across the Pont Alexander, younger school groups coming to events. So it may be back to school day, but the school groups came with all their matching T-shirts and matching hats. And as they always do, the energy was great.
Good. I think it's a good experience for kids. Eventually, I mean, I would love someday for it to not be a situation where, we have to give school children tickets because we can't sell them.
But to be fair, Craig Spence said it was only 200,000.
Yeah.
And you're selling 2.3 million.
Very true. I will say that. So my day, so you saw blind football in the morning. My morning was Badminton, and then we both met up at an event at Nike headquarters here. And then my evening was supposed to be Goalball. And during Badminton, well, first off, let's get the really important thing out of the way is Badminton's by the it's in our old hood, kind of. So when I got off the metro, I'm like, this is the day I went to the bakery, the boulangerie, and then I went across to the other boulangerie right across the street right after it.
With the cookie.
And I was like, I could really use a cookie today. So I went and got a cookie, and then I got some other pastry that looked really good. Not that I needed it, let me tell you that, because of the Nike thing. But went to Badminton. We got an alert that Jamal Hill had made the finals in the 50-meter freestyle. And another alert that McKenzie Coan, had made the finals as well in the 400-meter freestyle. So I started looking at scheduling because the Nike headquarters isn't that far from the swimming venue.
It's not hard to get to.
No, it wasn't hard to get to. And I said, can I swing swimming and goalball?
The answer was by the skin of your teeth.
Okay, so you know in the NFL how they have those giant men who, got hanging over, yet they are so agile and fast you can't believe it?
Yes.
I was that person today.
Because the other thing is that even though something's not far, you have to deal with the crowd, and sometimes the public transportation can be slow. And then you've got to go through multiple security checks and get to the right entrance. So you think it's, the app will tell us it's 21 minutes away, but that hasn't added the 12 minutes to walk from one entrance to the other.
Yes. And then once you're in, you have to go through the bowels of the venue to get to where you're supposed to sit. And we have discovered that during the Paralympics, I am struggling with understanding venues that I've been to multiple times.
And we discussed swimming in detail because I had been swimming several times. And after the first time, I got it down. And you struggled with it the couple times
the first time. I think I went once in the Olympics. And
you said never again.
Well, I just had the worst time. I came in from the wrong place. I found the wrong entrance. I'm walking all over the venue. I'm walking through NBC and OIS's snack room. I'm walking everywhere but where I'm supposed to be.
Okay, so you left Nike.
Right. I left. Jamal, I thought, was swimming at 5:51, and you kindly informed me that it was 5:52 that he was swimming. And I left Nike after going on 5.
Yes.
I think it was the late 4:00 hour, and took the one out to La Defense, got off fine, got out of the metro fine. I'm only seeing signs for entrances 2 and 3, and you've told me that I'm in entrance 5, and so I'm freaking out on the inside a little. But I'm just like, well, pink sign, let me go that direction. And then finally, when I'm close to the venue, I see 5. I get in the right place. I see the signs clearly marked for door 56, which you told me to go in. And I kept going and going and going and going around the building.
And I told you it was as far as you could
far.
go.
Yes, found it. In. got into the venue, got through the venue media center, got up the stairs to where you needed to go to the press tribune, and then was just like surrounded by scaffolding and didn't know, and roped off things and didn't quite know where to go. But there's helpful volunteers right there. And I said,
Yes.
press tribune. And they pointed me up, and the session was just getting started. Like the first race was in, and that was a men's 400 meters free.
Oh, I'm so relieved because you made me nervous when you wouldn't tell me how it went getting to the venue.
Yes. And I was walking quickly. Let's just say walking very fast to get there. And also on the way, I see Jamal Hill people around, and I have to get them pins and be like, I'm with the podcast, Olympics, Paralympics, here's a pin. And they'll be like, okay. And sat down, men's 400 free is on. Next race is McKenzie Coan's race. I didn't even know because I haven't really been on my computer today. So McKenzie swims, and we'll get to her result later. And then Jamal's race is right after that. So I am thinking, I'm like, NBC, just keep talking, and OBS, keep talking to McKenzie Coan, please, so I can watch Jamal, thank goodness it's a splash and dash, and then get down to the mix zone as fast as possible. So, and that's what happened. And I found the mix zone with help, and
I've never been to the swimming mix zone, so I could not have helped you.
It's behind something because you can't see the pool from where we are. I didn't know that, so they did have screens there if you needed them. Got McKenzie, so we'll have interview tape with her. Got Jamal, we'll have interview tape with him, and then I dashed.
Because you had to get yourself up to Goalball, which is not close.
No, I had to go back to the Transit Connect hub for us, which is the same metro line I took out, and then go to Arena Sud, which they say is like 30 minutes. And Goalball starts at 7:30, and we are after 6 o'clock this time. We are getting close to an hour. I start running. I kind of shuffle over to the metro.
Okay.
Hustle down. Trains like there almost immediately. Or no, because it's the end stop. So there was a train right there. Left. Get out at the Palais de Congrès. Get to, and I'm looking at the map because I feel like I'm going out the wrong exit. There's exits that are by the metro, but there's also RER exits, which I've been trying to wander through a little bit more that get you closer to the Transit Connect hub. Didn't do that. Some lady saw me staring at the map and was like, "Can I help you?" And she's just like, "Just go up," because I'm like, Palais de Congrès.
Go to the street. I tell you that every day.
I know. I was running up metro stairs. You don't know how heavy my backpack is.
Yes, I do.
My backpack is so heavy, and I'm running through the Palais de Congrès square because I am not missing the bus. And I get to the stop, the waiting stop,
transit
the key,
center.
yes. And where I'm the slot that it is, and there's no bus. There's really no buses there. And one by one, all the buses come in. And of course, now I'm pouring sweat because I have been running around, running upstairs, running up escalators as fast as I can to make sure I get this bus. And finally, a bus driver comes. And it's me and one other woman who is French, and she's chit-chatting and having a good time with the bus driver.
And you're like, "Can you just drive, please?
No,
I have a Goalball to get to."
I was like, well, thank goodness it's the right bus, first off. And it was a chug-chug bus.
Oh, no.
No, a chug-chug. It was not a putt-putt. He was going.
Oh, okay.
So he moved, and the Arena Sud bus has 2 stops. So you can stop by Boccia, or you go around to the other side of the thing. And he's like, "Oh, do you need to stop?" And we're like, "Stopping at 4." And he's like, "Yeah!"
Getting you out of here and getting on home.
Well, and then we stopped in front of the arena because there was a stoplight thing, and there's a taxi there, and he did not like whatever the taxi was doing, so he opens up the door and starts yelling at the cab driver. The cab driver's kind of yelling back. It's great. You got to maneuver through a gendarme barrier, and he gets us there, and then, of course, I have to run from the bus stop back close to 100 meters to get through security, take put my stuff in there, like, "Oh, do you have a computer?" "Yeah, the computer's got to go through separate." Meanwhile, the woman who has probably walked, the other woman on the bus has probably walked, she finally shows up when I'm putting everything away. I take off running again because I am getting close to time. hoof it into Goalball. Well, the one guy didn't know. The volunteer where I first got to didn't know where it was, and he lets me through. And then the security guy was like, no, you got to go behind the store. And once I saw the behind the store,
You remembered.
then I remembered, because it's a weird place to put a media entrance.
It is, and if I remember correctly, it's kind of on a different level.
Yeah,
Of the hill.
You kind of run up. So I hustled. Of course, when I get in, I don't see any signs where the press tribune is. So you just have to pop up and go, oh, that's where it is. And I sit down, 5 minutes to spare. It was a great day.
Jackie Joyner Kersey in the house.
I know. Splash and dash. That was my day today.
I'm exhausted just listening to that. And at every moment, I have this terrible fear that you're just going to get abandoned at a parking lot in a mountain and I'm never going to see you again.
Well, the problem with all of this is that my clothes stink. and I feel like I'm some sort of Middle Eastern European middle-aged guy right now who doesn't know who doesn't know one lick about personal hygiene. So I apologize in advance, and I will be showering aplenty later on.
I didn't notice.
Good, thank you. Because I'm one of those people who, I did walk in the metro after Goalball. I walked in the metro to go home. I smelled urine, and I thought, is that me? And then I go, it's not you, because you haven't smelled it before. But that is my instant reaction to anything that is a foul body odor. Foul smelling, it has got to come from my body.
Let's talk a little bit about our Nike immersion experience. So a couple of weeks ago, we got an email and it said, would you like to come to this experience at Nike? And we want your sizes.
Right.
So we said, sure. So we have not gotten anything from Nike.
And that's fine.
And that's fine because they brought us in to their French headquarters and we got a tour and a demonstration of all the accessible shoes and clothing and equipment that they're creating. And it's their innovation office. Mm-hmm. Is that how you would describe it? And we got to see some of Bebe Vio's fencing prosthetic arms, and the different shoes and the different bags. And what they're doing, and yes, I understand, Nike is doing this for money. They are a for-profit company. But what they are doing is so incredibly clever and important and simple to make life easier for not just para-athletes or people with disabilities, but it's just a better product.
Yeah, they walked us through the Team USA uniform and all of the different elements that made it easier for accessible, or made it more accessible. But Olympians and able-bodied people were like, oh, we like this magnetic zipper too.
Magnetic zipper, moving the pockets so that if you are in a wheelchair, you can actually use them. But that's just more comfortable if it's on the side of your thigh versus right up by your hip. Mm-hmm. And it's also more secure because it's straight down versus at an angle.
Yeah.
Silly things. Mm-hmm. I mean, silly, but not silly. Like they made the zipper on the bag a circle, a big circle that you could put a finger through rather than a tiny little piece of metal.
Right. So I would say if you have stock in a company that makes tiny little zippers, dump it now. They're going to lose.
They did a lot with step-in shoes that look like traditional sneakers. So it doesn't look like you're wearing an orthopedic.
Yeah. It's a lot more fashionable. I loved they have the running blade, and they have made treads for the running blades. They have made spikes for running blades. And then they also have a shoe that fits on a running blade, so you don't have to cut a shoe apart in order to fit it on your blade if you want to have a sneaker around.
So all of these innovations that Nike has created for the elite Paralympians, they're creating products for the consumer market. So now if you can't tie your shoelaces because you have hand issues, you can get these really cool step-in elastic laced sneakers that look like everybody else's shoes.
Yeah. So that was really cool. And they had a lot of presentations along with it, but we'll have some pictures, and because I took pictures, I took some video of all the different products, and it was really, really neat. Not everything is going to be for the consumer market. Some of the stuff they make that they had there was for specific athletes, which made me wonder, like, what is the world like when you get signed to a athletic contract, even if it's not Nike? They all have rosters of athletes. What is it like when you're talented enough that a company wants to sign you to a contract and say, well, let's make you clothes or accessories that you need to do your job well.
And then they're also they've created a program where they're going to be hiring Paralympians to transition into the corporate world after retirement from elite sports.
This is a program called Game On that they're working with the US OPC to get more diverse people working at Nike. And it's going to be a career pipeline for Nike and USA athletes, but anybody can apply to this program, which is a 12-month long deal. You'd get benefits along with it, and you'd get a moving stipend as well, which was kind of cool. But it's a transition program for somebody who needs to change mostly from being an athlete to being in a corporate world or life, and doing something that's life after being an athlete when you don't know what to do.
It's nice to see an Olympic and Paralympic sponsor putting its money where its mouth is.
Yeah. And so the program is going to be at jobs.nike.com/disability-inclusion. That's what they said, and that made me think that's a weird URL, but we'll look into it and make sure we get that right. The application opens pretty quickly, and sorry, I don't know what happened. I don't like this desk. What I don't like is that I can never get this thing to be straight.
Make a little note, because now we have a lot to delete right there. And you'll be happy you have your note.
The application process opens pretty quickly because people will find out in November, and then in February the program starts. So we will put some stuff up in the show notes so that you can, if you're interested or know somebody who might be interested in, have them apply.
And they fed us.
They did feed us. It was very nice. It was a really nice event. What volunteer job would you like to do today?
I'll be honest, I don't have a volunteer job because I wasn't even going to come on the show today.
Wow.
I thought of it, but I was in my moment of severe depression, and I said, you know what? My volunteer job is handing out tissues.
Oh,
it's been a rough evening.
I'm sorry.
I need one of those pavlovas again from today. Nike people, bring me a pavlova. I'm eating my feelings.
When I huffed and puffed myself into the Goalball Press Tribune, I sat down next to something called Vision Pad.
What is that?
This is a volunteer was sitting there working Vision Pad, and I asked, what is this? And she spoke French, so I kind of got what she was doing, and I watched her on the sly, and on the sly took a video, and took a picture of it. It is a multiple component contraption, which is a tablet, a keypad, and then a metal box that is a frame. And it looks like a framed picture, but the box is maybe 2 inches tall and maybe 12 by 14.
I saw something similar to that at blind football.
Okay. And so if it's a picture frame, but it's all metal, where the picture would be is kind of a sheet. And this had a little raised like plastic or magnetic dot. And then what the volunteer did is tracked every move the ball made on the pad, the tablet, and it somehow translates it into the machine, and it spits out something so they can get a representation of the game. USA Goalball is going to help me understand, or not goal. The
USA Blind Athletics.
Yeah, Blind Athletics. The press attaché was like, it's really cool. I'll get back to you.
So it probably was the same thing that I saw.
Yes.
If it's just based on blind sports.
Could be. I will put a picture up because it was a Paris 2024 branded Vision Pad. I have no idea. I'm just enthralled with this. It was so hard to watch both Goalball and the vision pad going at the same time.
Right, because then you saw a little trinket and you said, fancy new toy,
I know,
must see.
And this poor volunteer is like, what is wrong with you? Because she did have that look on I'm like, this is so cool. And she's like, okay, I don't know what to do with that. And then Goalball got on.
You know, I think the entire country of France has said to the two of us, I don't know what to do with you. How long are you staying?
Maybe if we ask nicely, they'll give us some money to leave.
We're staying in your country until you pay us to leave.
Right. And speaking of money, we'd like to get into our portion of what we call the Baguette, because we are an independent media outlet here, and that means that we are financed independently as well. It does cost a lot of money to send a couple people here to France and make sure they are in a hotel, whether that be a nice hotel or a not nice hotel, and everything we need to do to get the show running, because there's a lot of moving parts behind the scenes. And we need your help in keeping our flame alive so that we can continue to do the show after Paris 2024. Hopefully we can get to Milan Cortina 2026 as well and bring you more coverage that way. So we've got many ways to do so. The at flamealivepod.com/support, you can see them all. We've got Venmo, we've got PayPal. If you want to be an ongoing patron, that's at patreon.com/flamealivepod. Link at the support page. And patrons right now are getting an exclusive daily photo that you won't see anywhere else. And also at the $5 a month level, you're getting special audio and video as well.
Maybe some audio postcards from the Uzbeks.
Yes, definitely. And during the Paralympics, I really feel like it's important for us to be here, because we found out there's only 2,000 journalists of our category here. That doesn't include like the NBC people and other rights holding broadcasters, but like regular publication journalists, there's only 2,000 from the entire world.
Which is about a fifth of what was at the Olympics.
Right. So it's really important, if you are enjoying the Paralympics, if you are enjoying the watching them and wish that they were on the same par as the Olympics in terms of people paying attention, feed beefs, all that kind of stuff. It's people like us who help make that happen. And so we need people like you to help people like us make it happen for everybody. So flamealivepod.com/support. Thank you, everybody who has donated so far. It's really, it helps so much.
It's what powered you through your hoofing it.
I know. I
got to do it for the patrons. I got to do it.
That's right. You should have seen me hustle up those stairs, hustle up an escalator, and I didn't even know what was going on with me running through the Palais de Congrès. Made it work. All right, daily results.
Blind football is where I started my day.
How was it?
It was great. Well, first of all, it's at the Stade d'Eiffel. I don't think that's actually what it's called. It's at the Eiffel Tower. So this is where beach volleyball was. So great facility and stadium. Lots of school kids who understood the instructions to cheer when they were told to cheer and not cheer when they were told to be quiet. And it was Argentina versus Colombia. We've got two South American teams playing soccer. And I don't care that it's blind football. It was two South American teams playing soccer. They were physical. There was dives. There was people being dramatic when they dove and hit the ground. It was telenovela of blind football, which is fantastic. Here's what threw me off, especially after my experience yesterday with the food in the dark. The way that these players run full tilt across the field freaks me out a little bit, because not only are they visually impaired, they're goggled. So they're truly, there is nothing. And no fear. And that's why they're good at what they do. The ball handling was excellent. The teamwork was amazing. Interesting how they used the sideboards to their advantage, because they would kind of feel to the side and then they could just kind of like run along the sideboard, because then it kept them most effectively running straight. You know, you weren't losing anything by, I lost my place on the field. It ended up being a 0-0 tie, despite an absolute last-second diving shot by Argentina and this crazy save. The goalkeepers are sighted and coach the players, though the goalkeepers have to stay within their little box. There's a square in front of the goal, and they cannot step out of that. I got to see the clinging on the for the penalty shot. We talked about this in Tokyo, but just as a reminder, for a penalty shot, the coach hits the posts so that the player can hear the shape and where he is on the field. That was cool. And different coaches have clearly different pinging techniques. Lots, like you were saying, lots of yelling, chaos, but it wasn't. I think it looks more chaotic on TV than it does in person.
Oh, interesting. Maybe because the TV will zoom into where the chaos is, and you have a big field of vision when you see it in person. So the chaos gets minimized in a way.
The other big difference that I found from watching it on TV, in person, you can hear the bell quite clearly.
Okay.
On TV, I found it to be hard to distinguish among all the sounds, like you were talking about with the chaos. But in person, I think being able to distinguish that bell sound cleared the screaming coaches. And it's Argentina and Colombia. The coaches, a soccer coach knows how to scream from South America.
They're passionate.
And there was a good crowd, and the kids really seemed to get into it. I mean, it's soccer.
Right.
So, as I said, 0-0 tie. Just the beginning. You got to get out there. Also in that session was Morocco over Japan 1-0. And then tonight, China beat Turkey 2-0. And Brazil beat France 3-0. And when I was walking back from my devastation this evening, I also passed the Eiffel Tower Stadium, and I heard the Brazil-France match. And I said, that is awfully loud for a blind soccer, because you're supposed to be quiet. So there was a lot of screaming in between points.
Yeah, and I had it on because my night ended a little earlier, so I came back and turned on Channel 3, and the announcers were quite subdued tonight.
Yeah, France didn't do so well.
No, but
Brazil.
I know. Such a powerhouse.
Yeah. On to Boccia.
All right, we had individual women's BC 1 gold medals. This is for the port trunk control and sitting balance. A gold went to Ariel Albert from France. Silver went to Tang Yi Ting Geraldine from Singapore. And bronze went to Endo Hiromi from Japan. In the men's individual, same class, gold went to Hong Kong's Ling John. Silver went to Jung Sung Jun from Korea. And bronze went to Muhammad Siafa from Indonesia. And in the we move over to the BC class. These are the ones who use
BC3.
I'm sorry. Thank you. BC3 class. These use the ramp. For the men, gold went to Jung Hwan from Korea with the ramp operator Kim Seung Kim. And silver went to Daniel Michel from Australia with ramp operator Ashley Mattern. And bronze went to Gregorios Polychronidis from Greece with ramp operator Ekaterini Petroni. For the women, gold went to Ho Wen Kei from Hong Kong with ramp operator Lee Win Kit. Silver went to Jamieson Leeson from Australia with her ramp operator Jasmine Hayden. And bronze went to Kang Sung Hee with ramp operator Park Seyol from Korea. And then we finish up with a BC4 class, which is moderate to high impairment. They do a lot of overcoming fatigue. So for the women, gold went to China's Li Jimei, silver went to Hong Kong's Chung Yin, and bronze went to Lady Chica Chica from Colombia, who defeated Alison Levine, or TKFLASTAN. In the men, you're silent about that.
I'm having a hard time not throwing the microphone across. I have waves happening right now.
Wow. It's been a rough one. For the men's individual BC4 class, gold went to Stephen Maguire from Great Britain, silver went to Edelson Chica Chica from Colombia, and bronze went to Artem Kalinko from Ukraine.
It's a party in the Chica Chica house.
It is. In goalball, we had men's quarterfinals tonight. Brazil beat Egypt 10-0. Ukraine beat Iran 6-3, and then China defeated France 12-2. Oh, those were big games. Then I got there in time for the USA versus Japan match. Much lower scoring. First off, goalball in person is everything you want it to be and then some, except for not long enough. It just was over so quickly. Halftime is only 3 minutes. They had a cam. Did they have a cam at blind football?
No.
They have a cam. They have a person who's got a big sign. I had a very good quiet please referee today. That was so great. It's a mesmerizing sport to watch. I could not hear the ball very well. Japan had this little gimmick where if they had, especially in a penalty shot, one person would run up, another person on the other side would run up, but the person in the middle had the ball and they would throw. Calahan's got some words about that. Calahan Young. Because I did ask him. Calahan did score. They just ran out of time. They had a couple of the Japanese points came on penalty shots. And U.S. capitalized on their penalty shots a little bit, but it just they just ran out of time, and that's a shame. Excellent saves. It was just really good. It was a lot of fun.
Final score?
Final score: Japan 6, USA 4. They also had V-mops. I think we talked about this before.
We talked about this because
did they have those at Tokyo?
The V-mops?
Yeah.
No, we had it here.
Oh, okay.
And you didn't. I revealed about the V-mops. I said, "Oh, you didn't tell me about the V-mops."
Because they go in both directions.
Right.
Because I saw that tonight.
Yeah.
But it was like, oh, the V-mops are out. I'm sorry. You were really hurting today. It's gonna be better.
I told you I was ready to quit the show and not come back to hotel to podcast.
Wow. Lots of USA people in the house, which was nice, but they did get shushed a lot.
Well, they should. It's a shushy sport.
Para archery. We had the mixed team W1, which is a high level of disability across the body. Gold went to China, the team of Chen Minyi and Zhang Qianxin. Silver went to Czechia, team of Sarka Poltar Musilova and David Drahininski. And bronze went to Italy's Delia Domeno and Paolo Tonin. In the mixed team compound open, gold went to Jody Grinham and Nathan McQueen from Great Britain. Silver went to Fatima Hemati and Hadi Nouri from Iran. And bronze went to Sheetal Devi and Rakesh Kumar from India.
I saw Rakesh Kumar yesterday. He lost the bronze medal match.
Oh, my gosh.
And he was a lovely archer, just lovely to watch. And that mixed team was actually a trio. That's our pregnant archer who won the gold, Jody Grinham.
Oh, nice. Nice. In para-athletics, follow-up, Roderick Townsend won the high jump yesterday. 3-peat in the high jump for him.
We do love a good repeat.
He has won every Paralympic and World Championship high jump gold medal since 2015. It's like Didi de Groot of athletics. Didi de Groot is some wheelchair tennis player who's just phenomenal. But, like, seriously.
It's like can't be beat.
I'm sure, and I'm sure the whole field is gunning for the one. He's gonna fall at some point, unless he just magically retires. I mean, Alexander Karelin in men's wrestling in the Olympics, he
Retired
did
on top.
lose, yeah. No, he lost. He might have.
Oh, that was Roland Gardner,
That
right?
was the Roland Gardner match. Anyway, back to athletics. We have jumps. We had the men's long jump in 2 different classes. One is the T12, which is a constricted vision class. Gold went to Saeed Nahavzada from Azerbaijan. Silver went to Doniar Saliev from Uzbekistan. And bronze went to Fernando Vasquez from Argentina. In the T36 final, which is low to moderate impairment in all 4 limbs, gold went to neutral Paralympic athlete Yevgeny Torsunov, who got a Paralympic record. Silver went to Aser Mateus Almeida Ramos from Brazil, and bronze went to Alexander Litvnenko from Ukraine, who got a personal best. In throws, we have some javelin. It was the F64 final. This is a lower leg impairment or absence of lower limbs. Gold went to Sumit from India. He was actually in the F64 class and got a Paralympic record for that class. It's one of these that's mixed, a lot of mixed classes, so you'll find records in different levels of the play, because the silver medalist Dulan Kotiwudwaku from Sri Lanka set a world record for the F44 class. Bronze went to Michael Burian from Australia. In shot put, we had 2 men's shot put classes and 1 women's shot put event. For the men, we had an F11 final, which is the lowest level of vision, and they had a guide assist them. Gold went to Amir Hossein Alipur Darbed from Iran. Silver went to Mahdi Olad from Iran. And bronze went to Alvaro del Amocano from Spain, who got a personal best today. In the F41 class, which is a short stature class, gold went to Bobirjan Omanov from Uzbekistan. I always think, now that you've been friends with Uzbekistanis, I think, well, you must know these people, right?
Oh, I hope that whole cadre that was at Taekwondo has just moved and is at every event that in Uzbeki medals, because they all deserve the trumpet and the drum.
Silver went to Nico Kapel from Germany, and bronze went to Huang Jun from China. In women's shot put F54 final, which is a seeded class, gold went to Gloria Zarza Guadarrama from Mexico. Silver went to Elizabeth Rodriguez Gomez from Brazil, and bronze went to Nurkan Kurbanova from Uzbekistan. And then in discus, we have a men's F56 class, which is an absence of legs or full leg impairment. Gold went to Claudine Batista dos Santos from Brazil. Silver went to Yogesh Katanuya from India, and bronze went to Konstantinos Tsounis from Greece. Bronze went to Konstantinos Tsounis from Greece. In the women's F53 discus throw, which is a seeded class, gold went to... Oh, I said that already. Oh, sorry. I got confused because Elizabeth Rodriguez Gomez is just throwing everything. So she won the gold medal for Brazil. Silver went to Onidani Keiko from Japan, and bronze went to Zoya Ovsi from Ukraine.
She just throws things.
I might throw things too someday. Some days, doesn't it feel like it would be great to just have a discus lying around and you could whip it around?
Today would be a bad day for me to have things to throw.
Okay, we'll move on. In track, we had the men's 100 meters in several classes. T34 class, which is wheelchair. The gold went to Chaiwat Ratana from Thailand. Silver went to Walid Kitila from Tunisia. And bronze went to Austin Smeek from Canada. In the T35 class final, which is a moderate impairment in the legs and perhaps some upper impairment in the upper body, gold went to Ihor Tsvidov from Ukraine, who got a personal best. Silver went to Artem Kalashian from Neutral Paralympic Athletes, who got a personal best. And bronze went to Dmitry Safronov from Neutral Paralympic Athletes. In the T63 final, which is an absence of one leg above the knee, gold went to Ezra Fretch from the U.S. with a personal best. This was a surprise for him. He was very surprised because he just started doing the 100-meter within the last quad. So comes away with the gold.
Not bad.
Silver went to Daniel Wagner from Denmark, who also got a personal best, which is quite nice to see. And bronze went to Vinicius Goncalves Rodriguez from Brazil. In the T64 final, that's absence of one leg below the knee, gold went to Sherman Isidro Giti from Costa Rica. Silver went to Maxel Amomanu from Italy, and bronze went to Felix Streng from Germany. This is the category that Hunter Woodall is in, a very famous or well-known Paralympian who's married to Tara Davis Woodhull, who won gold in the long jump in the Olympics. He finished 6th today. However, we also learned that his main race is the 400 meters, which is coming up, so another chance at it.
Giti Giti is a name that I remembered.
Yes.
So I just looked it up. He was the gold medalist in Tokyo.
Oh, nice. Nice to have the repeat. And then finally, we have the women's 1,500 meter T11 final. This is a visual impairment class with the guide runner. You've got the results on this one.
Yes. So gold goes to Yayeshgate Tesfa with guide Kindu Sise Girma from Ethiopia. Silver is He Shan Shan with guide Yu Junji from China. And bronze is Luzon Kotsi with guide Erasmus Badenhorst from South Africa.
Moving over to para badminton, I was there for some of the morning session, and this is a sport that will use half courts when it's necessary for the class. So some people who have more mobility will use a full court like a Olympic badminton, but then wheelchair classes tend to use just the half court because they move forward and back and can stretch side to side. And also some stand-up classes that have mobility issues also use a half court. The wheelchair courts are on a wooden court. There's the wooden court, and then there's like the vinyl flooring or whatever Gere floor like court flooring that they have. But they had a different court set up for the wheelchair. And I saw wheelchair players on this court. I don't know if that's the only court they played on because that was today. They were only on that court. Again, I just got sucked in. I wanted to play. It was fun. I will tell you that.
You got excited for Olympic badminton.
Yeah.
So this does not surprise me that this would excite you again.
We also had the other nice thing about this session was that there was play going on. Then there were a whole lot of victory ceremonies, which put me in an even better mood because of that music that everyone plays. The wheelchair doubles WH1, WH2 class, the women had their victory ceremony. So Liu and Yin from China did the cutest thing where they held their medals in one hand and the other hand had the frieze, and they made the big heart with their arms together. It was so adorable. Everyone was so happy. It was a lot of fun. And also another, of course, a French pair won, which was great. And the French would not stop yelling. It was, I don't know her name. Oh, I'm sorry. Fautine Noel and Lucas Mazurer. So they kept yelling, Fautine, clap, clap, Luca, Fautine. And it wouldn't stop. He left kind of quickly. I think it must have been because he competed later on. But she just seemed to stay and soak in all of that. I would stay as long as I could.
You couldn't get me out of there. People are chanting my name.
We're going to start with wheelchair classes. In the women's singles WH1 class today, we had Satomi Serena from Japan won gold. Sujarat Pukham from Thailand won silver, and Yin Meng Lu from China won the bronze. I did see the gold medal match. And honest to Pete, you would think that a shot would go way past Satomi. Her range of motion leaning back was so far. And you could tell it was farther than Pukham's. And Pukham, she had a decent range of motion too, but it's just like I wouldn't be surprised if Satomi could do like a back bend in her chair. That's how much flexibility she had in her back. And then I wanted to go and do some bird dogs to strengthen my own back a little bit. Because guess what? It's another sport that requires your entire core.
Is there a sport that doesn't require your entire core?
Probably not. But the gold medal match was actually really, really close. So Satomi pulled it out. She lost the first game, 18-21, but then won 21-13, 21-18. So it was, that last game was really close. It could have been anyone's. In the men's singles wheelchair one class, gold went to Qiuzi Mo from China, silver went to Choi Jungman from Korea, and bronze went to Thomas von Schneider from Germany. I came in near the end of this match, and he won 2-0 over Korean Jung Jae-gung, 26-24, 21-11. He is 60 years old, I believe. And again, another one who did not want to leave. Of course, he was hitting shuttlecocks into the crowd. There was a big German contingent, so especially he was over there hitting shuttlecocks into the crowd. He just enjoyed the moment and soaked it in so much. It was really fantastic to see. In the men's singles wheelchair 2 class, Japan's Kajiwari Daiki won gold. Silver went to Chan Ho Yoon from Hong Kong, and bronze went to Kim Jung-joon from Korea. In the women's singles WH2 class, gold went to China's Liu Yutong, silver went to China's Li Hongyan, and bronze went to Switzerland's Yara Rengli. And then in the women's singles SL3 standing class, which is a half-width court, gold went to Xiao Shuzhan from China, silver went to Konita Iktara Siakuro from Indonesia, and bronze went to Mariam Inolia Bolaji from Nigeria. In the men's singles SL3 class, India's Kumar Nitesh won gold over Daniel Bethel from Great Britain. This was a good match too. This is going on at the same time. We had 3 matches going on mostly at the same time.
Medal matches, and they still had multiples.
I know. So many classes. And this was the last day for para badminton, so they got to get it in. And at first, Nitesh and Bethel, their match seemed to be like lob, lob, shot. Lob, lob, shot. And I'm looking at the next court over, which is Fujihara and Bunsen. That was the bronze medal match. And they seemed to have a lot of different variety in their shots. But then as the match went on between Nitesh and Bethel, they started in with some variety and some good shots and some speed and really dinking it over the net. Oh, it was both matches were so good. And then I felt really bad because Fujihara from Japan in the bronze medal match, he was making really good shots, and then the match was 21-15, 21-15, with the bronze going to Malkon Bunsen from Thailand, who just outplayed him. In the men's singles SL4 class, so it's standing full width court, France's Lucas Mazur won gold. Silver went to Suyas Lalanakara Yatiraj from India, and bronze went to Freddy Saitawan from Indonesia. That name sounds familiar too. I bet they were in Tokyo. In the women's singles SL4 class, standing full width court, gold went to Cheng Hei Fan from China, silver went to Leani Ratir Oktila from Indonesia, bronze went to Hella Sophie Sagoye from Norway. In the men's singles SU5 class, upper body disability, gold went to Likhu Che from Malaysia, silver went to Suryo Nugroho from Indonesia, and bronze went to Deva Anrusmuti from Indonesia. There was a big Indonesian crowd there too.
Oh, good.
So that
They
was
had a
nice.
lot to cheer for. We got more.
Exactly. In the women's singles SU5 class, gold went to Yang Ching Cha. The women also were doing the medal matches for the SU5 class. Gold went to Yang Chichang, Yang Chu Xia from China. Silver went to Tulisamati Murugesan from India, and bronze went to Manisha Ramadas from India. Mixed doubles SL3 SU5, which is a mix of SL3 class and the two SU4 and SU5 classes. Gold went to India. Gold went to Indonesia, the team of Hikmat Ramdhani and Leane Rater Oktila. Silver went to Indonesia, the team of Freddie Saituan and Kalimatos Sadia. And bronze went to Francis Lucas Mazur and Faustine Noel. Clap, clap. In the men's singles SH6, which is a short stature class, gold went to China, Li Nali and Li Feng Mei. Silver went to Miles Krajewski and J.C. Simon from the USA. And bronze went to Suban and Rina Marlina from Indonesia. It's USA's first para-badminton medal at all.
And they're children. They're 19, the two of them.
Wow. I didn't realize Miles was that young.
He is that young. If you get we saw him. We didn't get to talk to him at the Team USA Media Summit in the spring. But if you take a good look at his face, he is clearly just an absolute kid. But I mean, silver medals.
It's nice.
Nice job.
Right? Because the U.S. does not have a tradition in badminton too much. I know we say first medal, but Tokyo was first games that para-badminton.
But still, there's a lot of classes. There's a lot of players. And to see the United States on a medal stand for a sport that they don't do terribly well in on the Olympic side either is exciting.
Moving over to swimming, so I did see 3 races tonight. For results and making it easier, we've grouped things by classes and strokes and distances. So we'll get to the different races I've seen at different times. In the S13, which is a visual impairment class, men's 50-meter freestyle, gold went to Ihar Boki from Neutral Paralympic Athletes. Silver went to Ilya Yaremenko from Ukraine, and bronze also went to Ukraine's Alexei Virchenko. For the women's 50-meter freestyle S13 class, gold went to Maria Carolina Gomez Santiago. Silver went to Gio Pergolini, and bronze went to Carlotta Gili from Italy. Silver medalist is from USA, and our Olivia Chambers finished 5th. We're moving over to the S9 class, which is coordination affected to a low degree or potential limb amputation. No. Moving over to the S9 class, where coordination is affected to the low degree. Jamal Hill, 50-meter freestyle.
Oh, that breaks my heart a little bit too.
Yeah, that was tough. And he told me what happened. He said it was really intense, and then just you go, it's only 50 free. I forgot how long a 50-meter pool was. I know it's 50 meters, but that's a long race when you're a sprinter.
A lot happens extremely quickly.
He's a slapper. If that helps you. He did not have a good race. I will say that. And you could tell something was going on because he had finished first in his heats, and he had time of 25:34 in his heats. He finished the final in 25:62.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was 3/10 off, which is a lot in splash and dash.
And within one tournament, within one competition, to have that kind of spread, it's not like, something changed, but obviously something did change.
Yeah, so he talked about it in the mix zone, which we'll have after this. Just went out too intense. And then with his disability, that really comes into play in this class when you have muscle coordination issues and I know it's 50 meters, but 50 meters at one go can be long when you don't have to turn and get a little bit of rest. So it really came through. We did have a world record set tonight. They were really, really fast. That was Simone Barlam from Italy who got the gold. Silver went to Dennis Tarasov from Neutral Paralympic Athletes, and bronze went to Frederick Solberg from Norway. Moving over to the S2 class, which is a high level of impairment, men's 200-meter freestyle, gold went to Gabriel Geraldo dos Santos Arroyo from Brazil. Gabriel Geraldo dos Santos Araujo from Brazil. Silver went to Vladimir Danilenkov from Neutral Athletes. Bronze went to Alberto Caroli Abarza Diaz from Chile. In the S7 class, which could be short stature, could be modern impairments on one side or absence of limbs, gold went. We had the men's 400-meter freestyle. Gold went to Federico Biccelli from Italy. Silver went to Andrei Trusov from Ukraine, and bronze went to Inaki Basilov from Argentina. For the women, same class, McKenzie Coan is in this race.
Mackenzie Coan did very well in this race.
She did. Gold went to Morgan Stickney from the U.S., who set a Paralympic record. McKenzie got the silver. And bronze went to Giulia Terzi from Italy. Talked with McKenzie afterwards. First off, she looked really strong in the pool. Like, you saw her swim, you saw her stroke, and just like, you look really strong today. You're having a good day. She was having a good day. She was overjoyed. I got some tape with her. The last year has been really tough for her. She has had some setbacks in other ways, couldn't train the way she wanted to. Her training, her tapering all went exactly how she wanted to, and this is a result. So it's really nice when everything clicks, and it's so hard to get it to click.
And she's not done.
No, she's got more. So good on you, McKenzie. Keep going. Moving over to the S3 class, which is only can use arms and upper body. Ben's 50-meter backstroke. Gold went to Denis Ostapchenko from Ukraine. Silver went to Yosiatim Alexander from Germany. And bronze went to Sergei Polomarchuk from Ukraine. In the women's 50-meter backstroke, gold went to Alice Chalice from Great Britain. Silver went to Zoya Shchova from Neutral Athletes. And bronze went to Marta Fernandez Infanta from Spain. Then we have the SB14 intellectual disability class for breaststroke. Men and women did 100 meters tonight. Gold went to Nicholas Bennett from Canada. Silver to Jake Michael from Australia. And bronze went to Yamaguchi Naohide from Japan. For the women, Louise Fides from Great Britain won gold. Deborah Borja Carneiro from Brazil won the silver. And Beatrice Borges Carneiro from Brazil won the bronze.
Not a coincidence with the names.
Sisters?
Yeah.
Moving over to SB4 class, a breaststroke class for moderately affected coordination. Men 100 meters. Gold went to Dmitry Chernyov from Neutral Athletes. Silver went to Antonios Sapatakis. And silver went to Antonios Sapatakis from Greece, and bronze went to Manuel Matteo Bortuzzo from Italy. For the women, gold went to Giulia Giretti from Italy, silver went to Fanny Illis from Hungary, and bronze went to Cheng Jiao from China.
Just like in the Olympics, Italy in the pool.
Yeah, it's great. And in the mixed 4x100 meter freestyle relay, 34 points. Gold went to Australia, silver to Netherlands, bronze to Spain. Sorry I missed that. I would have liked to seen a relay.
There's more.
There's more.
But you're not going back to swimming, are you?
I don't know. Probably not, because Mackenzie's got some races still, and Olivia's got some races still. But I don't know if I'll go. There's Goalball to watch. In para table tennis, we had men's and women's singles round of 16 and quarterfinals for various classes. Our Eden Seidenfeld defeated Martin Perry from Great Britain 3-0 in the men's singles competition. He plays Spain's Alvaro Valera in the quarterfinals tomorrow. Guess what actually happened today?
The triathlon. You know why the triathlon happened today? Because so the day before I got up, I got ready, and then realized it was canceled and laid down fully clothed back to bed to get an extra hour of sleep. These start very early. And of course, you got to get over there and get to the press center. Today, I said, it's not going to happen. I'm not even going to wake up.
And guess what happened?
The para triathlon.
So we have all classes. They're staggered starts depending on impairment. Medal orders determined by who crosses the finish line first for that class.
So in other sports, we've talked about the different clocks. You know, a second isn't a second and it runs at different speeds. This, what they do is they put that time differential at the beginning. So if you are in a class with a higher level of disability, you start sooner than people with a lower level of disability. So it's all balanced out that way. So it really is who crosses the finish line first, which makes it easier to understand who wins.
We'll start with the visually impaired classes. Gold went to Dave Ellis from Great Britain with guide Luc Pollard. Silver went to Thibaut Rigadier from France with guide Cyril Viano. And bronze went to France's Antoine Perel with guide Johan Lebert. There was a bike accident. That's not good. Hector Catala La Parra from Spain got a bike accident. And there were some penalties. I saw a lot when I looked at the results. There was stuff that was contested. Then there were a lot of penalties I saw. Some of the kind of penalties they have are Owen Cravens from the U.S. got a 10-second penalty in the second transition because he touched the helmet locking mechanism while he was in possession of the bike inside the transition area. So it was like he had the bike, he was in the transition area, and I guess he started unlocking his helmet before he was allowed to. That would be my guess. More of that. There's penalties for placing equipment outside of their box, which makes sense because then that could impair somebody else.
I think that's true in able-bodied triathlon as well, so that's not any different.
We had a disqualification for riding through the transition area, that kind of thing. It's kind of interesting to see what all the different penalties are and how they affect people, because they'll have to serve like 10 seconds or something. Sometimes they pull them off to the side.
And anything that we have seen in terms of these penalties, it all looks like either because you get a time advantage or you put somebody else at risk.
Right. In the women's PTVI class, gold went to Susana Rodriguez from Spain with guide Sarah Perez Sala. Silver went to Francesca Tarantello from Italy with guide Silvia Visaggi. Sorry. Thank you. I'm not even going to try that.
That's okay.
And bronze went to Anja Renner from Germany with guide Maria Paulig. In the men's PTWC class, gold went to Jetse Platt from Netherlands, silver went to Florian Brungraber from Austria, and bronze went to Geert Schipper from Netherlands.
And PTWCs use wheelchairs and hand cycles.
Okay. For the women, gold went to Lauren Parker from Australia, silver went to Kendall Gretsch from the USA, and bronze went to Leanne Taylor from Canada. If you recognize Kendall Gretsch's name, she did win gold in her class in Tokyo, but this is her 7th Paralympic medal because she is also a Nordic skier, and we saw her compete at Beijing.
Yes, we did. I think she won a silver in the race that we saw her in.
In the standing classes, we have men's PTS2. France's Jules Ribstein won gold. Silver went to Mohamed Lana from USA, and bronze went to Mark Barr from USA. In the France cleaned up a lot here. France won a lot of medals today, so we were...
Kelju was busy.
Kelju is really busy. That show is really, really busy.
And what was really funny was while they were talking to one one of the triathlete medalists, another French athlete won another medal in a late session.
Yes.
So then we got that medal session live as they're talking to somebody who got their medal earlier in the day.
Yeah, there was a big section of the studio audience from Kelge who was medalists from today for France. It was great, and of course they will play every ceremony, and everyone sings Marseille over and over again. So we're gonna hopefully learn the words by the time we're done here. In the men's PTS4 class, Alexis Hanquin from France won gold. Carson Clough from USA won silver, and bronze went to Nil Riodaved's victory from Spain.
PTS3.
PTS3, I'm sorry.
No, we need to go back and do PTS3.
I'm sorry. For that class, Daniel Molina from Spain won gold. Silver went to Max Gellar from Germany, and bronze went to Nico van den Bergt from Netherlands.
Then the men's PTS5. Gold goes to Chris Hammer from the United States. Silver is Ronan Cordiero from Brazil. And bronze is Martin Schultz from Germany. Now we get some women's results. PTS2, gold to Haley Dans from the United States, silver to Veronica Yoko Plebani from Italy, and bronze to Alyssa Seeley from the United States. Women's PTS4, gold for Megan Richter of Great Britain, Marta Frances Gomez from Spain won the silver, and Hannah Moore from Great Britain wins the bronze. Hey, you know who won the PTS5 in the women's?
FLASTAN!
Grace Norman won. She only won by about a minute, and then another minute was silver and another minute was bronze. So this was it wasn't a photo finish.
Clear race.
But nice and tight, which is exciting. So silver is Claire Cashmore from Great Britain, and Lauren Stedman, also from Great Britain, won bronze.
Moving over to shooting parasport, we had the P3 mixed 25 pistol SH1 class that Yang Chao from China won gold, Gong Yan Zhao from USA won silver, and Kim Jung Nam from Korea won bronze. Our Marco De La Rosa placed 19th and so was not in the finals of that.
Sitting volleyball, we have our last group of preliminary rounds.
Oh boy.
Actually, I take that back. So one pool of each the men and the women are done. We've got the last ones tomorrow. So in the men's side, Egypt beat Kazakhstan 3-1. Bosnia-Herzegovina beat France 3-0. And on the women's side, Canada beat Rwanda 3-0, and Brazil beat Slovenia 3-0. So the men's semifinalists from Pool A are Bosnia-Herzegovina and Egypt. Pool B will be decided tomorrow. The women's semifinalists from Pool B are Brazil and Canada. Pool A, which includes our Shuk Flastani, Laura Webster, and United States, will be decided tomorrow as well. So wheelchair basketball. This is, in fact, the last of the preliminary rounds. So U.S. beat Japan on the women's side. Netherlands beat Germany on the women's side. On the men's, Great Britain beat France, and Canada beat Germany. So men's quarterfinalists are Great Britain, Australia, Spain, Germany, Canada, Netherlands, USA, and France.
That'll be a good game.
Are you going to try and go to that one?
I am going to try to go to that one. Since I didn't see a full game, we didn't go to basketball during the Olympics because for the men at least it was too hard.
It was too far away. It was in Lille.
It was hard for that, and even when they moved down, it was hard for us to get to where we were location wise.
And those were high demand tickets, so we
Those
couldn't
were.
we couldn't even just walk in. On the women's side for the quarterfinals, which will be on Wednesday, it will be Netherlands versus Spain, Canada versus Germany, USA versus Great Britain, and China versus Japan.
Wheelchair rugby, what happened?
Okay, let's start with the easy stuff. So we had the placement rounds. So France was 5th, Canada was 6th, Denmark was 7th, and Germany is 8th. Then you got the bronze medal match. So close. Australia beat Great Britain. The defending champions walked away empty-handed, 50-48.
Whoa.
Then we get to the gold medal match.
Wait, so was Australia really scrappy as per usual?
Oh,
was
yeah.
it a really, really violent match?
It wasn't a violent match. Australia was scrappy. They wanted this, and not that Great Britain didn't, but there was an element in the Australian team,
Like a different intensity?
a different intensity, like kind of what I've seen in some other bronze medal matches, where they were not going to be denied. Great Britain was right in there with them. So it wasn't like, oh, they walked all over them. But the Australian fans were there.
Oh, yeah. They showed up for when I saw them as well.
I don't know what they're doing, but they are here. So we had talked earlier in the week about I didn't expect Japan to be there, and I don't know why. They're the 2-time bronze medalists. And I think it's because they haven't done terribly well at the World Championships and because the U.S. hasn't played them in semis. So I just sort of missed that Japan has slowly but surely been creeping up the standings of wheelchair rugby. To break my heart is what they've been doing.
Oh.
So Japan beat the United States today 48-41. The U.S. beat itself 9 turnovers to 1 by Japan. 6 penalties to 1 by Japan.
Ooh.
It felt like they came out super hot, were great in the first quarter, and then kind of burnt themselves out a little bit. Like it got too intense, if that's a word, and Japan stayed calm throughout and just steady, steady, steady. They didn't get so it was 1 point tied until midway through the third quarter. Japan went up 3 points, and that was the end of the game.
Oh, you're kidding. Wow. And that's not a lot. Like one little shift.
It was basically one of those turnovers, or 2 of the turnovers they converted, and that was the game. It was a rough ending. Chuck was on the court crying, which made me cry. This is going to be tough. This is the 3rd silver medal in the row for the United States. They've gotten beaten by a different team each time. Thrilled for Japan. They played a solid game. They were clean. They were crisp. They kept to their game plan. Cannot fault them at all. Little scrappy, but not chippy like with Canada. And this hurt a lot because I know what this meant to this team, because they were so clean and so good. And I honestly thought Sarah Adam was that missing piece that was going to, because when she's on the court, they are a slightly different team. They're faster and more complex in their play selection.
Oh, that's interesting.
I see a lot of the more complicated setups and the passes, and she is fast, man. You get her going, and she's like, oh, there goes Sarah. She's already scored. See ya. So did not get mixed zone. I don't know if any of the American players came through. It didn't look like they were going to. They did do the NBC. Coach Joe Delagrave and Chuck did the NBC interviews, and I think that was it, and I cannot fault them.
That's tough.
Class acts on the medal stand, as you would expect. But it's hard to win the silver medal but lose the gold and then get on the medal stand. We've talked about this for all the team sports.
Yeah.
So I knew it was going to be hard because you know me, I
love wheelchair rugby.
I
You
love
this
wheelchair
team.
rugby. I love this team. I adore Chuck. And I feel like connected to them in a way that is completely inappropriate and not realistic. Like they're my team.
Welcome to fandom.
Yeah, I know. And I'm not that kind of fan. But to the Team USA Wheelchair Rugby, I am. So I already sent Chuck a note and just be like, we love you. We love you. And we love this team. And, you know, we went back and forth because he does have availability tomorrow. And I kind of want to talk to him in a month. Not now.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that reporter. Be like, how are you feeling now that you lost again? What is he going to say? I feel awful. Of course he feels awful. And he's going to say he loves his teammates because he does. And this team loves each other. They don't need me to make them feel crummy.
maybe say the silver medal is beautiful? Because I do think the silver medal might be the best looking one of the three.
I guarantee you he does not care. He does not like that he has a 3 set of silvers.
Fair enough.
So, Chuck, I love you. And Sarah, I'm getting to love you now that I've seen you play these tournaments. And
it's tough.
This was tough. But I'm here.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what they do going forward because LA will be a big moment for them. Just as all of these moments are very big for France and the Paralympic movement in France, USA LA 2028 is going to be huge.
You know, do you make significant changes or are you happy and it was just a bad game? So it'll be interesting to see how the organization and the team going forward works because I mean, we all thought this was going to be it. Mm-hmm. This was going to be the breakthrough.
This is tough. What's the sound you made?
I'm not making the sound because now people are going to be scared of me.
Make the sound. Don't you feel better?
No, I don't.
Oh. Okay, how about some wheelchair tennis? We had men's singles third round, women's singles second round, quad singles quarterfinals tonight. Rob Shaw of Canada will challenge the number 2 seed Niels Vink of Netherlands in the quad singles quarterfinal tomorrow. Shaw has dropped his last 6 matches to Vink. So we will see, is this going to be a Niels Vink spectacular or will Shaw finally break through?
And I remember we really enjoyed watching Niels Vink in Tokyo.
Oh, yeah.
He was just such a joy. So this looks like a barn burner.
This will be good to know. All right. Who's our mascot? They'll make you happy.
And it's our last day with them. Aww. Sonny and Sadie, our guinea pigs from listener Don, who was kind enough to share them. And I don't know listener Don's daughter's name. But I do want to thank her because I think the guinea pigs are really hers. So Sonny and Sadie have been outstanding mascots. TKFLASTAN is so proud of them. And we'll have a new mascot for you tomorrow.
Excellent. We have some more medals for TKFLASTAN.
So we are at 5 golds, 2 silvers, 2 bronze, 1 silver I didn't want, but I'm so proud of that team.
They did do well. I mean, seriously, this is another sport, much like wheelchair basketball, that I wish was more prominent in the U.S., that you could go and see it more often. I wish you could see wheelchair rugby more often, too. And it's not that it hasn't had a moment here and there, because there was Murder Ball that we watched in Movie Club, and it just seems like, oh, here's a pop, there's a pop. And I don't know what billionaire would love to sponsor a league or something or get them off the ground. It's going to take people who have money and time and just the insane curiosity or, drive to make that happen. But it would be great to get to see a lot of these sports again, more than once every 4 years. But we get to see more TKFLASTANis in action tomorrow.
Ian Seidenfeld plays in the quarterfinals of men's singles para table tennis.
Alison Levine and partner Julian Chibano have their first 2 prelim matches in the Boccia BC4 mixed doubles tournament.
On the track, Jaden Blackwell runs in the men's T38 400 meters, and Daniel Romanchuk takes on the 1500 meters in the T54 class. And
Olivia Chambers swims her last event, the S13 200-meter individual medley.
Team USA finishes its preliminary matches in women's sitting volleyball against Italy.
Maybe that will make you happy, going to see some sitting volleyball.
I'm going to go see Ian and Alison tomorrow.
Oh, well, there you go. That's going to make you happy, too. And Brian Bell and Team USA play men's basketball in their quarterfinal against France. And that's going to do it for this episode. A special thank you to our researcher, Elizabeth Emery.
And if you want to get in touch with us while we are in Paris, you can reach us on X, YouTube, and Instagram at FlameAlivePod. Send us an email at flamealivepod@gmail.com. Call or text us at 208-352-6348. That's 208-FLAME-IT. Chat with us and other fans on our Facebook group, Keep the Flame Alive Podcast. And to get our special daily Games Time newsletter, sign up at our website, flamealivepod.com.
After this, we will have mixed zone tape from McKenzie Coan, then Jamal Hill, so both the swimming first, and then Calahan Young for Goalball after that. So stick around for that, and then join us again tomorrow for more action from Paris. Please tell your friends about the show, tell them about the Paralympics and how cool it is, and hang out with us in the Facebook group because it's hopping there. Thank you so much for listening, and until tomorrow, keep the flame alive.
Hi, Jill from Keep the Flame Alive.
Hi!
Oh my gosh, you look so strong out there.
Thank you.
How did you feel? I mean, how was it going in from this morning to this evening?
Yeah, I felt really strong. This morning was a great surprise. That's the fastest time I've been in 3 years, and that's exactly how I wanted to execute and get a really good lane and good placement going into tonight. So,
okay. So when, like, you're training and tapering down, how did that go? And I mean, I feel like it went according to plan. And
yes.
You're surprised at how well it went.
Yes, it definitely. So the last year hasn't quite gone according to plan at times. It's been kind of up and down, that's for sure. So to have like my full taper and have everything hit the way I want it to at the right time, it's just been a while since that's happened for me, and so it feels so good and so powerful to go out and execute the way that I want to.
I don't know what to say. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you. I'm excited to. Hey, okay. I love it. You're making me more excited now too.
Well, I mean, medal ceremony, tears, that kind of thing. It's really cool. Congratulations. I got nothing. I don't know what else to ask.
Thank you very much.
I want to talk to you forever, but I don't know what else to ask. Get
Thanks
fast.
so much.
Oh, good. Obviously, okay. What happened from this morning to today, or this evening?
Oh, I went slower. That's what happened.
Did it feel different this morning?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes like you just try a little too hard.
Okay.
And I think that's what tonight was a case of. Tried a little too hard. One of my greatest mentors always said, when you win, you party, and when you lose, you ponder. So right now, it's not really about feelings. It's just about, again, figuring out what exactly happened. Mm-hmm. I know I was really focused on just taking it out fast, taking it out hard. I brought a lot of intensity, and I think that just caused my muscles to tighten up too early in the race. So when we were coming to that, literally probably the back third, I could feel it just falling more and more behind. And I mean, again, at that point, all you can continue to do is just swim your race, get to the wall, hope for the best. So tonight, the best I had was 5th place.
All right. How's the experience of the Paralympics been so far? And because you have this big platform for your foundation.
Yeah, the Paralympic movement, I think, is a wonderful movement. I'm really honored that not only me representing Team USA Athlete, but also the businesses and ventures that I'm involved in all go to really supporting and growing that Paralympic movement. It's not just about standing on this platform to advance our own goals and our own visions as individuals and as collectives, but we're parts of a whole here. So I think the more winners that we have and the more winners that we have winning in other areas of life and bringing that energy and bringing those crowds and bringing that, that Venn diagram, that overlap of communities back to the Paralympic movement, that's what it's really about. And I'm really just, again, grateful. You wouldn't even be interviewing me if I wasn't a part of the Paralympic movement. So it really is an honor and I owe a lot to this movement.
All right, thank you.
Cheers.
I'm bummed that it worked out the way it is, but...
It's all right, listen. One thing you learn being on the block, you win some, you lose some.
Exactly. It's Jill Jarris from Keep the Flame Alive podcast.
Oh, hey.
How are you? I mean, it's
been better.
Yeah, I mean, that's a dumb question.
Yeah,
going into tonight, what kind of play did you anticipate from Japan?
Just that. They are a methodical team that will pick you apart, and they don't make many mistakes. And early on, they did make a couple mistakes that we were able to capitalize on. Tyler scored one of the penalties. Being able to keep ourselves in the game was our mindset going into it. We knew that they're going to be they're one of the best teams in the world. So, by keeping us in the game, by keeping the score, if we can't catch an early lead, at least keeping it tight within one was our mindset. I mean, obviously we want the lead, but we are very aware that they are an elite team. So we did what we went out there to do, was keep the score tight, because we knew that we could score goals, and just tides didn't end up falling our way. We had a couple close calls that went in, that didn't go in. I mean, in all fairness, so did they. Goalball is sometimes it's luck's not on your side, and sometimes it is. And defensively, we had a few lucky saves that extremely thankful for, and a couple that didn't go in that I'm not very thankful for. So, it's just the game kind of went how we thought that they would play. It's just we didn't execute on the little things that could have pulled out the win there.
Okay, so they have this move where one guy in the center really has the ball, and the other two take turns trying to run to fake you out. Where, does that fake you out really, or no? Do you know what they're doing?
No, I mean they do it so much. It's like it's very gimmicky. It's just the ball. Nothing can make the same sound as the ball. That's why I tell my teammates, I'm like, don't listen to the footsteps. Like, you can't put bells in your shoes, and nothing will ever sound like the bell. So I find it very gimmicky. It doesn't really get to me. I mean, honestly, like you don't see the best teams in the world like China and Brazil doing it because they know that putting the angle from the thrower is the most important part. Doing angle from your arm and your body is what's gonna really get people. I mean, it does bite some people, but I try to see myself as someone that doesn't really get bit on that fake footsteps.
Okay, good. One more game.
Yeah.
How do you regroup?
Yeah, we got to figure out what time it is, and
it's at 10:45 tomorrow.
Okay, we get to sleep in a little bit. So, worst case scenario, it was at 9:15. Worst case scenario, we had to play a game tomorrow. So, I mean, pick your poison. But, we have the opportunity to get back into the Paris 2024 Paralympic floor and represent our country one last time. And, that's how we have to view it. That's how we're going to handle it. Not everyone gets the opportunity to be on this floor and this stage. And we are blessed with that opportunity. So, I mean, you got to take it at that, right? Like, unfortunate we didn't win, but, unfortunate that we have to play tomorrow. But you just got to take the blow and move on.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.